the Hylos. I feel like they were just thinking also that, hey, if we have the Cho and the Yuzong, that's two dudes initiating, we have no one to peel for the backline. At least for one, if having either the Hylos or the Yuzong, you can delegate. Either one's gonna stay and one dive, vice versa.
Oh. Wait.
Based on the game state right now, I think they're playing it really, really well, both OP and as well as Boxy.
Oh, now that's the flicker forced out of OP. Not much he could do there. I get it. They were playing it really aggressive because they were winning out majority of the lane, but that's the Hayabusa you're talking about.
Yeah. And that's cool. That wasn't even a level 4 guy. That was just level 3. He just showed up with a shadow and immediately got OP.
And that's exactly what you want to do, right? And I think from OP's POV, it's like, I don't mind taking the first initial stun. He just wasn't expecting Zixora to gank him pre-level 4. So again, a bit of creativity, but more importantly, it's about execution. It's these smaller moments that you need to take to start building advantages. This is why I think the meta is so heavy on the playmaking, because it's moments like this that's going to allow Team Zone to fight for the turtle.
Yeah, now everything's just on Team Zone side. The control, the rivers no longer dominated by CFU, so we will be definitely seeing something here in this turtle fight. But Bankai, though, forced under his turret. Now there goes the Landshaker, stunning 2 people from Team Zone. Will they go for the counter engage? They are quite low, so Team Zone might have to reset for a bit.
They still have their ultimates. They can get back in there. They need Bankai to first start the jump and maybe target OP down, who just hit level 4.
What? Are they not going to reset this? That's the Black Dragon form already committed by Bankai. He's looking for a target. They're trying to go for Detective. Fury of the Phoenix already committed, but they're going after Kenny in the back lines. Kenny goes down. Detective takes the turtle. And despite everything that was committed, it seems like everything's going a bit too well for CFU as Bankai goes down next.
They lost the shape of the fight, and now they lose their purple buff for that as well. Wadu, with his second bravest fighter, has already dominated this side of the map. And this is what I was concerned about. The EXP laners now starting to fall behind from the side of Team Zone allows CFU to create more opportunities to force plays.
Yeah, unfortunate for Zone. I think that's just all experienced by CFU. They read the situation perfectly. They know that their gold laner will be able to join. That is the nature of the Claude now. First turtle, he can just come in the fight because of how fast he can get through the map. And Team Zone, I feel like they should have just called back. They needed that purple buff for their Hayabusa. And going up against a Fredrin, a Lapu, yes, we already saw the Landshaker, the bravest fighter, committal, and you have the Yuzong, but it's way too tough to make that fight work. It's so demanding of your team to get that turtle.
I guess they were just really banking on the Black Dragon form.
Yeah.
But even then, all other resources of CFU were available too. It's just the bravest fighter that they saw being used. There was still the Fury of the Phoenix and Wave the Dragon onto Zixora, but there might be no follow-up. Detective and OP couldn't dish out the right amount of damage, but still one will as well. Bright is still alive! K2 looking for a target in the mid lane, but they will not find any.
Can we get a replay of that? Oh my god, Boxy! What a sick Cho play. You blink, you miss it. How quick was that Way of the Dragon to guarantee that Zixora was not able to get his ult?
Yeah, on point. Zixora was already charging up the animation, but then Boxy was able to kick him back. And now CFU has a DHS for their Claude, which in 2026 January MLBB means power spike already. Just one item, man. Nerf him!
Wave the Dragon, bravest fighter, all committed on the Bankai. Landshaker doesn't connect though, so he's still able to use the Black Dragon form. But the sustain you see from this Yuzong keeps him alive, but without that, Team Zone might not be able to contest this objective.
Yep, they have no Petrify to do it, and Zixora's maybe thinking of getting in on this. Bit of an awkward quad shadow there. I don't know what he was aiming at.
If it was older Hayabusa, that definitely would have been closer. But I'm pretty sure at this point he's definitely very familiar already with the quad shadow length. I guess he was just reaching for the stars at that moment. It felt like
he was hoping that somebody would just walk up into it, you know?
Yeah.
But you see Boxy right beside you, and I don't think you could stay for any longer.
He's already kind of made a name for himself at this point. There's a lot of respect going over to Boxy from the side of Team Zone. You can see that they get a little bit nervous when they notice his presence around the map, and I think that's something that's good, right? However, what are they going to use that leverage for? And I think at this point, now that there are no buffs left on the map to actually fight for, you can see that Boxy is proactively looking to either kick Bright or even Kenny.
Fury of the Phoenix cancels out the feathered airstrike. But Zixora still finds Boxy. Will OP get to find a trade? It seems like the damage and the range will not be enough. But then K arrives, and with the Salmon Force, will try to take down OP. But Wadu will provide some help. Bright 2 joining in with the Glorious Pathway, but now they see 3 members in front of them. Sing is just stealing the auto attack, so will the Appraiser's Wrath connect.
Bankai!
The knock-up from Bankai using the Black Dragon form as well. But Sing is still able to deal all the damage that he wants.
Oh my goodness, it's a game of cat and mouse in Sing, luckily preemptively flickering, knowing that the Xora is paying attention to the BMI. These are the moves that you want to see from our professionals.
Lots of focus at the center of the map. Seems like Team Zone, though, I feel like they could be a bit more active, or excuse me, proactive. But Xora just has so much gravity towards it. Oh, the game!
Speaking
Oh
of
my
Xora,
He can't be using Quad Shadow anymore. Xora must hold his Quad Shadow for as long as possible.
I didn't expect Boxy would be committing the flicker and the full combo, but in the end, that just completely snuffs out any rotation the Team Zone wants to have or any presses that they want to have in this map. 3 turtles will be going to CFU. K has been able to farm up well and is now one of the few ways that Team Zone can make a comeback through this. Feather of Heaven up for that Harith. CFU can just keep this up with their aggression. Now they look to help Sing.
yeah, but I have to say that they've been really aggressive so far too. I don't think there's been any instance where the flickers have been down or have been not used at all whenever there was a team fight. It's always Boxy, Sing, and OP aggressively making use of the resources that they have, and it's so Team Zone. You could understand how defensive they're starting to play everything, even with the Hayabusa in their lineup, even with this Hylos in their lineup.
Look at Detective. I really love the way that he builds on this Frederick. You should be looking for as many components as possible because the raw stats, look at him. He's level 10 and he's just beating him up. What are you going to do about it?
I like it when I see Fredericks like this. It's really just, yeah, I definitely can frontline. Even though I will be taking damage, it's fine. Like, at the end of the day, I'm going to end up hurting someone, and I do have the help, as long as the other members of the team are there. So good call by Detective.
Oh, Purify forced out.
Nice.
Okay. And that's it. They didn't commit the Way of the Dragon or anything.
That's exactly what they want because now they can set up a dive angle and you can tell, okay, he's like, nah, he's not about it. He does not want to show on the map anymore, knowing that Boxy could come on him at any time. I think they're also keeping track of the battle spell, so 10 seconds left until Flicker.
Oh, Wadu's all alone here. Fury of the Phoenix, though, someone helps him there. Uses the Flicker to reposition out. He's against 5 right now, but it seems like he'll be okay.
Yeah. Queen's Wings, second item for Wadu. That's crazy. Usually you go Oracle, but no, he just straight up goes for the Queen's Wings. And at this point, he will be very difficult to take down. So now you have both the Fredrin and the Lapu Lapu as heroes who can just front, soak up damage, deal a lot of damage, and survive at the end of the day.
The 2 main damage dealers that they're most concerned about is Kenny and Kay. Now that Xora does have the Sky Piercer, maybe he's a little bit of a threat, but only if you are low. Prior to that, it's not doing as much damage as you would like to. Oh god.
Once again, Bankai in the bottom lane. Use.
What?
Oh!
Just auto him!
It's okay. It's okay. He's alive. He's alive. That was a Black Dragon form, though, and we have a Lord.
They're gonna get the T2 off of this, and with this Lord as well, the snowball is not going to stop.
Okay, Boxy, seems like he's a target. But they're just able to run away. They forced out the Glorious Pathway even. Now that's another resource down for Team Zone before the fight even breaks out.
Man, Boxy already used his Way of the Dragon, and he's still posturing as if he still has it. And now, Libera's trying again!
Wait, Wadu all alone! Still gets to finish off right! Now it's Bankai that they're trying to go after. Without the Black Dragon form, they're just gonna chase after him. But Detective says no. The call is different. They're gonna transition towards the Lord.
Queen's Wings Rush, way too good for CFU Gaming, and they have gotten all major objectives so far in this game, including the very first Lord. Wadu's still going. He knows that there's no one in Team Zone that can take him down this early. Yes!
Oh, Bankai, you gotta be careful!
Bang!
And there's nowhere to run! Now the Landshaker connecting once again for members of Team Zone on Wadu, but he will force them out of the turret, and that'll result into another casualty. Bright goes down as well.
Goodness. I told you, the EXP lanes are going to make a big difference in this game, and Wadu now developing a 3-level lead against Bankai. Bankai has lost his relevance. Even if he wants to get on top of OP, you can tell he still has his passive to knock him away. And even with the Petrify, it gets big out early.
Whoa!
Wow!
The energy eruption into the Fury of the Phoenix! And with the Holy Shields, they're able to keep themselves safe out of the turret.
Detective, OP, Boxy, that was a sick combo. Whoever made that call, it could have been Detective who says, hey, I'm going to be able to get this this taunt off, get that Fury of the Phoenix down. There's a kick.
Way of the Dragon onto the tankiest member, and they don't care. Now it's Bankai next, and no front lines left for Team Zone.
And whoa!
And the blazing duet into the winter crowd. Kay, fortunately, still alive after that, but it could have been much worse.
Dear God, the Cambodian playstyle with the snowball, they're so confident.
Oh, Zixora still able to get something out of that.
Sing overheated a little bit there, though. He should not have given up that kill. Seems like the rest of CFU wanted to back off, while Sing wanted a little bit more. But thank you, Sing, for building a winter crown. We've been asking for this for all M7.
Yep. It's just expected at this point. We expect you to build that winter crown. We expect you to make these big plays of their own. However, looking at the state of the game, yes, it's a 4.5k lead, but it's not like Team Zone's completely out of it, right? They still managed to hold their inhibitor turrets. In terms of the raw items, Kenny's almost there. Zixora, yes, he's able to find 4 kills, but now, oh God, Boxy.
Okay, Fury of the Phoenix, that'll help Boxy. Wadu landing Landshaker onto, but the Fettered Airstrike, there's nothing to cancel it right now, but Wadu doesn't care. He still goes after Kenny, and he's able to finish the kill. Now the Black Dragon form forced out of Bankai as well, but he doesn't get to find anyone. Detective trying to go in. There's another flicker from Obi, and now they still want to go for the fight. The Blazing Duet once again dealing enough damage onto the members of Team Zone. Bright trying to run away, and so is everyone else, but Wadu stands in front of him and says you cannot go anywhere.
And that's the experience we're looking for. If Team Zone were to make the same play, I don't think it would have been as synchronized. CFU saw this from a mile away. Great awareness.
Okay, they get to dodge the bravest fighter.
Oh!
Couldn't dodge the damage. Better airstrike. They have to run away now. My goodness, Kay couldn't even last 2 or 3 seconds in his Zaman Force.
No, he could not. One of the few things Zetian is able to cover almost the entire, like 2/3 of the Zaman Force with just their first ability, so he will get shredded away ever so slowly.
And we knew this Harris pick would have difficulties. We thought they'd opt for range. We thought they wouldn't pick up the Harith, but they decided to lean in on it, and because they could not get the early game that they were looking for, especially since Bankai lost the lane against Wadu, Team Zone has just completely gotten out of their hands. They are playing solely through hoping that CFU Gaming will be able to make a mistake. With the itemization of Wadu up to the Oracle already, only up to the Holy Crystal, yes, but at this point you want a Divine Glaive on K. Now 4 items will be enough to make CFU Gaming wins, but if it's enough to win it is a different question. They're so tanky at this point.
They kind of are, right? I mean, they're stat checking, though. That's the whole point. And now that they're past the 42k mark, this is their last opportunity to try and go for an endgame scenario. Afterwards, it's just going to even out, and maybe Team Zone might pull through, all assuming that they don't lose this crystal off of the Lord push.
Yeah, because they're syncing up the waves really, really well. And it'll be a tall order for them to do that. With all these heroes we initially did not expect them to bring out. It's not just the Harith, it's also the Farsas that we did not expect to see from them, but now they'll have to say goodbye to their first base turret. And there's another wave coming up in mid.
They gotta guide that Lord down, right? Get to take advantage of it.
Okay, there's the BMI already. Boxy still not looking for a kit. Oh, I take it back. He actually finds it on one of the most important members at that. Zixora is down for this defense. And there goes another Bravest Fighter and the Praisers Wrap combo saying going in 2. But he gets taken down by the turret shot. And now CFU lose their marksman.
We still have one more Siege minion though, but CFU Gaming will back off as Zone successfully defends.
They get to live. They get to live. There is nothing wrong with living and sacrificing all of your inhibitor turrets. The only problem is that now coming up for the next Lord in 66 seconds, they're going to be at a major disadvantage. It is not up to them anymore whether they are able to win this game or find that comeback. Let's look at the replay one more time at the very least, right? Because this defense really boils down to what is the most important thing. And yes, Boxy is still making these insane plays. I would argue that he's going to be the MVP by the end of it. But at the very least, Bankai finds a little bit of value while Kay is able to get in and out of these fights. This is how the shape of the fight needs to look like. Kenny is your anchor, and so is Kay. They cannot be using their abilities at the same time unless they can guarantee a kill on Sing.
Sing though really needs his time. His entry is just a little bit better. I know he was sending back the members of Team Zone, specifically Kenny, but He should not have eaten all those turret shots in the hopes that he'd be able to take someone down because they need him to lock in. OP also having the Winter Crown there was very clutch. Definitely Bankai could have just straight up blasted him, but he was able to Winter Crown away the passive of the Yuzhong.
Yeah.
And the combo, the full combo too.
I guess Singh didn't really notice that the turret shot was on him too.
Yeah, the man was so locked in with getting that kill. He really wanted that.
He wanted it, but now how do they even contest for this Lord, right? It's an almost guaranteed non-contestion for CFU. As Team Zone just locked in their base, unable to do much about it, right? If one of them get picked off at 60 minutes into the game, it's roughly like a 30 to 40 second, depending on who dies, respawn timer, which is pretty much game over at this point, knowing that the Lord is going to spawn in about roughly 10 seconds.
Yeah, CFU Gaming can definitely finish it off here unless errors, again, a little bit of jitters or over-eagerness to end it, leading to members of CFU Gaming, especially Singh or OP, maybe even Wadu falling down unnecessarily early. Zone, still, same condition. Wait for CFU and hope they make a mistake.
Wadu, who's 7-1-4, by the way, on this Lapu-Lapu. And now Boxy once again, but he gets stunned by Bright. But nonetheless, look at the damage from the Blazing 2 into the Winter Crown! Singh is able to do so much, and now without any hesitation gets to lock on the tower.